morning and welcome back to Untitled channel. Today I'm sitting beside Dr. Lamya Al-Haj. She's a professor, or associate professor in molecular biology and as well as a researcher, and she's also a member of TWAS, is my correct?
That's right.
Yeah, thank you so much Doctora for welcoming us today at your office, and thank you so much for agreeing to interview with us. We're very delighted to meet you. And in the beginning, I wanted to ask you, like out of curiosity, what made you grow fond of science?
All right, first of all, thank you very much for the time. Thank you very much for all the huge efforts that Oman Inspires is doing to connect to the society and to inspire and to also educate the people. So I'm absolutely honored to be with you today. My passion for science, I think, started when I was a kid because it came naturally with any child, to be honest, who asks why. You know how kids always ask, "Lesh kada? Why is the sky blue? Why is the..." So the good thing is that that was not killed in my childhood. All my whys were either answered or tried to be answered. So my parents put a lot of effort and patience in trying to answer my questions or trying to direct me to places where I could actually feed that passion to want to answer the question why. And that's the main question for any scientist. Wanting to understand how things work, why does this. So it was actually nourished since I was a child. My father is a professor of mathematics and computing. My mom is a midwife, a nurse. So they're both highly educated and both encouraged us to read and think and discuss. We were allowed to ask questions. We were not punished for mistakes. So we grew confident. And with time, I just found that the why was growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And I naturally fell into the pool of science. I must admit though, when I was in high school and I scored very high grades, my parents and brother were encouraging me to obviously do medicine at كلية الطب. And I was very there's a small percentage, fraction of a percent, that I was short of getting into College of Medicine. And then when I entered university, I scored high in the first semester. I was transferred to College of Medicine and I thought, no, I want to be a scientist. So I found my passion clearly when I actually entered in university, and I'm really happy that I took this path.
Okay, so you did what kind of major in the university first?
All right, in my undergrad, I did biotechnology as my major with chemistry as a minor. So we have this combo kind of thing. And then I was sent on a scholarship to do my master's in Australia, and I did it in environmental technology. And then again, a scholarship to do my PhD, which I did in London, University College London, UCL, in genetic engineering.
Wow. So you said you're practicing now the renewable energy?
That's right. So what happened is that when I did my PhD in London, you know, the science is very advanced in the Western world. So we were doing high tech, genetic engineering stuff, and I thought this is what I want to do. When I came back, I managed to continue the work, but it was at a much slower pace. Because of the logistics are different, the way we address R&D in the Arab world in general is not the same. We're still not there yet. You can still do the research, but it's much slower, and I felt frustrated because my personality is kind of like quick. You know, I want things done quickly. I like projects to be done quickly. So I started thinking, okay, I'm going to be working under the umbrella of renewable energy, but I will do something that is faster, more tangible, and also serves the country directly. I joined a fantastic team when I came back from my PhD. They already had a proposal set for production of biodiesel from date seed pits, and I can show you the material later, which is basically crushing date seeds, which is a waste material in Oman. Oman is the fourth largest producer of dates in the world, after Egypt, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. So I said, what can we do with all of these seeds? How can we turn the waste into wealth? And we studied extracting the oil from the date seed pits, because 10 to 15% of the seeds is actually oil. So we extracted the oil and then through a chemical process turned it into biodiesel, and it worked. So now we're in phase 2. We got funds from PDO, Petroleum Development of Oman, to upscale our lab production, and we are. So it's looking very promising. We published a lot of papers, and I'm really happy with this research specifically, although it's not directly what I studied, because I feel like I'm actually contributing to diversifying the economy of Oman and turning waste into useful products. The other side of my research is algae research. So we did some research on algae strains, local algae strains, where we extracted high value products from it. different kinds of strains, different kinds of products. But again, because it's slower, I kind of get put off quickly. So now I'm shifting all my attention on the biodiesel project, which is doing really well.
I'm so proud of that, by the way.
Thank
That's
you very
amazing.
much.
That's
Thank you
amazing.
very
Turning waste into wealth. I like that.
Yeah.
So basically, I also saw some of your previous videos, and I think this is an example of what you said, the importance of turning the research or the theory into a product.
Yes.
Why do you think that's important?
Well, like, you know, some scientists might disagree with me because normally academics, when they do research for the sake of research, and they do the research for the sake of publication, which is great because you're answering questions like why is this and why is it important, and that eventually will feed into bigger picture. But I think we're at a time where we are actually strained economically. The whole world is going through an economic downturn. So I think it's time for the scientists to use their brains, time, power, energy, resources, and really contributing and solving the country and the nation's problems directly. And that's why I shifted my attention from the whole playing around with the genes and taking a gene from a plant and it's fantastic research. It's very exciting, but I'm not contributing to the economy of my country. And I thought I wanted something more applicable. And because we wanted to be part of the solution of issues that our country and the world is suffering from. لأنه فعلا يعني the development of nations is based on research. And I'm really very pleased with the recent royal decrees where we have now the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation. I literally jumped off my feet when I heard the name of the ministry. It was fantastic because now it means there is going to be specific attention to research and development and innovation. And that's what's going to bring Oman forward.
Inshallah, I hope so too. And I also wanted to ask you regarding your projects and your research. So you conduct them with your students at the university?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that question in one word. Collaboration.
Oh wow, so volunteers?
No, collaboration it's not volunteers, it's a win-win. Okay. So for example, I would collaborate with professors from College of Engineering, College of Marine Science, College of Medicine. We hired MSc students, PhD students, postdocs, research assistants. We train undergrad students. And why do I say collaboration? Because as I said, we have challenges in the R&D field. If you try to do it all by yourself, you will not reach. I did not reach here by myself. I will be absolutely lying if I say I've done it on. I started by collaborating with a team that existed already. And when that team left, I collaborated with another team. I collaborated with people in South Africa. I collaborated with a team in UCL in London. And that is the only reason why I managed to publish, or the team managed to publish about 20 scientific papers in the past 5 years. And that's not normal in an Arab world. Even my supervisor in UK was like, what? Yeah, he was, it's really good. And I would say collaboration is the reason, because you do what you can, and whatever you're missing, you ask your collaborator to contribute. So then you can end up with a project where it's 50-50 or 60-40, and you reach to your goals much faster. And this is one advice I give to all the researchers who are struggling in the Arab world, is don't try to do it by yourself. Collaborate with other people, because you will definitely reach much faster.
I agree, I agree. And also I wanted to point out that you seem more of a hands-on person. You like to be busy, and you want result. You know, like straight ahead, you want to see results. Yes. But are you also passionate about teaching?
Oh my God, I love teaching. It's my passion, and I'm really missing my students because now we're going online. Oh, okay. And I think I'm getting into depression just because I'm not going to see my students. I love teaching. I've always loved it. Since I was in school, I used to love explaining things to my colleagues, my classmates. Yes. When I was in Sultan Qaboos University, I remember when the teacher used to explain, I would turn and explain to my friends. So I have it in me. I like to teach. I like to share knowledge. Okay. And I think I really believe in order to be a good lecturer, you're actually born with some sort of skill and passion. I don't really think you can actually teach teaching. Like a lot of people say, you can teach a specific set of skills. You can point out important things like, eye contact is important, and make sure you simplify but that passion, that dynamics, that energy that you bring into the classroom, you have to have it inside you.
Yeah, it cannot be taught.
It cannot be taught.
It's like,
exactly.
It comes within.
It comes within, exactly. You can be a good lecturer, but follow the rules and all the things that you've been taught in university, but it's not the same as bringing everything in you on the table. The students feel, they feel it. When you love what you're doing, the students can feel it and they can sense it. I love it to the extent that even when I'm in a really bad mood and when I was going through a phase, a low phase in my life, I used to forget everything when I walk into the classroom. So they were like my aspirin, the students and the teaching. So I'm absolutely passionate about it.
I'm sure your students love you for that.
Inshallah. أكبر نعمة هذيلا. They're a blessing in my life, really.
That's really nice. And so basically, I've been going through your Twitter account. I noticed you're very active on Twitter. I love that. And I've watched your videos and I've read your tweets and I've noticed other people retweeting, which I'll go back to that. And people are actually tweeting about you. And then you reposted that. I love it. I have one point I'm going to mention.
Okay.
But before that, I also noticed that you have, you've also diverted your energy into youth empowerment. I've also realized that you've given lectures and workshops called جلسات ملهم.
Yes, جلسات ملهمون.
ملهمون,
Yeah.
right? So can you tell me more about it? Like, why are you very much interested in the youth and their development and their motivating them? And like, what is your speech normally about? You know, I feel like that's very...
Thank you. You're talking about all the things that are passionate about. Yeah, and all the things I really absolutely love talking about. The youth, I strongly believe, are going to bring Oman to the next level. We have a population, a youth country. 60% of our population are in the youth age. I believe they have so much power, so much energy, so much drive, and they're actually very smart and hardworking. They just need a little bit of a push, a little bit of encouragement, or at least not somebody to stand in front of their face. Yeah, and if you can't support them, just let them do their thing. And I believe this because through my 10 years of teaching in university, and I'm blessed to have the ala crème of the society. Because you know, all the youth in Oman, all the students in SQU are high performers. Yes. So I'm addressing all these geniuses every day, and I can see that they are highly skilled, but they are missing confidence, and they're missing a little bit of inspiration. So I thought, how can I, with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with, and I think this is one of my strengths, is the ability to reach to the hearts of this fraction of the society. And I thought, how can I actually play a role in empowering them so that they unleash their potential? So I'm not instilling any skills in them. All I wanted to do is to unleash what they already have in them. And I've seen the results. And if you will see the wall here, I've got so many letters of what a lot of the students have achieved. And they email me 10 years after they graduate. I have students who are surgeons. I have students who are doing their PhD now. I have students. So when I get all this, and I'm still in touch with them, when I get this feedback, I have students who publish books and say, this is for you because you inspired me. So I'm thinking, subhanAllah, it's such a simple act, such a simple thing, just a 20-minute talk. What you guys are doing now, I'm sure it's going to inspire not just my talk, all the platform that you're doing, Oman Inspire. Every person you're interviewing is touching someone's heart in a different way. If somebody is interested in youth and research and education, maybe something I'm going to say will help them. If they're interested in art, somebody else will inspire them, you know? So I strongly believe in inspiration. So I decided, you know, how can I so I started with giving all these small lectures because I do it in my class anyway. So when I teach biology, I'm really teaching 60% biology and 40% is like life skills and, you know, inspiration. And then the students start saying, Dr. why don't you give us, you know, talks outside the lecture theater? So I would start doing, you know, a few talks here and there. A few hundred of students will show up. And then it's, you know how the word spreads in Oman, right? Yes. So then other colleges started inviting me, and then others, Sur, Sohar, Saham, and it kind of spread. And then I started getting invitations from the Gulf region, and then the Middle East, and the world as well. The last one was in Pakistan.
Wow!
Yes, and Canada, States, South Africa, I've given a talk as well, motivational talks. So it's incredible how I went from, it was just very
from the classroom to around the world.
Exactly. You said it beautifully. From the classroom to from one end of the world to other, from Pakistan all the way to the Middle East, all the way to Canada and the United States. And it actually started in the classroom, and it was never planned. It was never planned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens doors. When you have the right intention, and I strongly believe this, when you have the right intention and you do it for the right reasons, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will place you just exactly where you need to be. And you never know when, you don't know how, but it works magically. I know where I want to be in the future, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. I want to inspire 200 million Arab youth, and we have 200 million Arab youth in the world, and I want to reach out to all of them. That's my goal. How? I don't know. When? I don't know, but I'm working towards it, and I see it clearly. The more I work towards it, the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just brings opportunities. So Jalasat Malhimun was fabulous. It started with about 700 people attending the first session, and then about the same or a little bit less in the second because it was a bit further. It wasn't in the center of the city. And then the third one, the last one, was attended by over 4,000 youth from all across the country.
Where was this located?
This was in the Cultural Theatre in Sultan Qaboos University, the third one. It can hold 5,000. And I remember when I first asked for the theatre, they said there is no way you can fill that theatre because even when we bring big celebrities, not more than 1,000 show up. And I said, just let me take care of this. And if it fails, I will never approach you again. You know, and I got lots of skepticism from people saying, oh, there's no way you're going to fill it up. And so I was worried because I like challenge and I don't like to fail. And that's one of my sicknesses. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist. And I remember walking in the theater, and 1 hour before the session, the seats were full. And they looked like ants, literally, because you can see thousands of heads.
Yes.
And it was magical. It was like a moment of, oh my God, this is my dream. Like I really wanted to be in this theater, standing here, inspiring all this youth. Of course, it was live streamed, so we got comments from New Zealand, America saying it's 3 a.m. here and we're watching Jalasat Malhimun. It's 4:30 a.m. here and we put the alarm because we don't want to miss it. And it was recorded, but people wanted to be there live. So I really want to take this further and I wanted to grow it bigger, and I'm working on it because I'm a young global leader. I'm not sure if this was, if you know this, but I was selected by the World Economic Forum this year as a young global leader in March.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very
amazing.
much. Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's a blessing. It's been fantastic. Very supportive. I just started the course in Stanford University with them. They also build your personality as well in leadership. So I'm making connections now through them to make Jalasat Malhimun grow a little bit more, inshallah, outside Oman as well.
That's amazing. So it's like a company, right?
Yes, it's run by volunteers.
Yes.
Like you guys, amazing guys. So I have about 22 young boys and girls aged between 18 and 30. Each one of them has a set of skills. They work like a beehive. And honestly, sometimes I get to a point where I'm tired and exhausted, and they pull me up. They inspire me to continue, and they just don't give up. It's amazing. These people are not paid. They are working around the clock. Some of them they work, they have jobs, some of them are students, but they invest a lot of their time and energy, and sometimes their money, really, to make this happen. So I give credit to my team. Yeah. And I'm only the face that comes out, but I'm not the Jalasat Malhimun, it's them, really.
Yeah. I'm very proud of your accomplishments.
Thank you so
That's
much.
amazing. I'm so proud, Yani. I feel like if you reach and you're achieve, I achieve. You know, it's contagious.
Thank
you know,
you.
especially the motivation is very contagious. But what is your vision though for the youth? Like, you care so much into lecturing them, into motivating them, but what is your vision for them?
I would say, if I would just give one piece of advice to the youth, I would say, don't try to be like anybody else. Don't try to be like me, because a lot of people say, I want to be like Dr. Lamya. Don't try to be like me. Everybody has their own set of skills, their own strengths and weaknesses. What they can do, I can't do. What I can do, maybe other people can't do. So I would say just focus on yourself. Compete with yourself. Be the better version of yourself every day. So as long as you're improving in whatever field that is, or whatever thing that you want to achieve, as long as you are taking steps forward every day, then you are going to contribute to your country. Don't try to be anybody else, because you're special aslan. Yani everybody, I believe that every person is special. And if they believe that, then they're going to start giving. Be kind to yourself. Yani always be kind to yourself and be the better version of yourself every day.
So going back to the tweets, your followers tweeted saying that out of all the new position that His Majesty created, I was dreaming to have Dr. Lamya Al-Haj to be in at least one of those positions, and I still have hope that she will be. What do you think about that? That really touched my heart, because if you were able to make people wish for you that much of a position and that much of a power, that means you had already enough power to make change. Correct?
Thank you very much.
So how do you feel about that?
Oh, I was really touched, and that was one of the messages that I got. I got so many others on private, on Instagram, I got them through email, I got them through WhatsApp, and I felt the love. I felt the love, I felt the trust, and I felt like the hard work is paying off. I'm very happy with all the royal decrees that His Majesty has done, because he's empowered fantastic people. I'm very proud of all the people he actually selected. They are more of the younger generation. I know personally most of them are my colleagues, so I'm very happy for them. For me, serving Oman is not tied by a position. I was happy with the reactions, because it just meant that people have trust in me and like what I've already been doing for them in the society, and that will never stop. Nothing stops. Al-ata, yani giving, is not tied by position. If I am to ask for a position or post, it will only be for one reason, is that I'm going to have more resources and to achieve bigger change in a faster way. So whatever that is, whether it is through a position in the university or outside or whatever the job is, if I have more empowerment, then I know I can achieve more faster. But I'm very happy with what I'm providing already now with being in a, I'm very happy to connect with my students, and I really don't want to lose that touch either. But I do have bigger plans beyond teaching and research and development. I definitely have more plans, but I am very happy with all the love that the people are showing. It really touched my heart. I was really touched.
So did it touched me as well. And Doctora, in between juggling between being an associate professor, being a researcher, giving time to your students, motivating youth and making them grow, and all of those projects that you have and all of your plans, tell me, how do you cope between work and home?
Yes, that's a very good question, very important question. And a lot of people think that you should, or it happens automatically that one is more important than the other. And if one would be more important than the other, then for me, it's going to be my family. My kids are always involved with what I do, with my projects. My husband, my parents, my family are always involved. So I communicate all my work with my children, so they know why mama's busy and where is mama and why is she traveling and why. So I remember once, it was in October last year, and I told the kids, I said, Mama, I'm really sorry, because this month I have to travel to 3 countries in 1 month, so I won't be here much. And of course my husband supported by taking care of the kids while I was away. And I was feeling a bit low because it was too much travel in 1 month. And my eldest son said, Mama, go and change the world. So the fact that you're getting that from your children shows that they understand why you're busy, and I bring them to all my motivational talks. So they attend my talks. When I come back from work, I make sure that I spend the rest of the time with them. So I do the homework with them, I do Hafz Quran with them, I take them to meet people who inspire them. Like, I have already made so many meetings with professors for my elder son, because he has interest in geology. So I made meetings for them, take them for activities, the weekends are for them. So as much as I am busy when I'm at work, when I go home, I make sure that they get my full attention. We talk about what they did in school. I attend all their school activities, because I don't want them to feel like, oh, mom is busy, ma jaya yom al-shajara. So I go there and I watch my son go, playing with the piano for 5 seconds, and I actually leave the office, go watch him, take a video, come back. So it's the small things that matter. The kids appreciate quality time, not quantity. So basically, if you're there for 4 hours in the house, but you're busy on your phone, they don't feel like mom is spending time with them. But if you're there and you give them your full attention for like an hour and you play with them and read, they feel khalas, they're satisfied. So I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying I actually succeeded in it. Maybe I didn't. But from the kids' feedback, they seem to be very happy, and they're proud. If they felt like they were left out, they wouldn't feel proud. But they're very proud. And I think maybe that's why I'm going to give myself a little bit of credit, that I put a lot of effort and trying to find that balance. Have I found it? Will I ever achieve it? I don't know. I don't know. يمكن أكون مقصرة. Maybe I am actually, you know, not the ideal mom. And that's one thing that I always wanted to be: perfect mom, perfect wife, perfect student, perfect teacher, perfect. It's draining. So you need to set a bar or a scale to say, as long as I have this, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, as long as you're doing your best.
Exactly, exactly.
The efforts count.
Yeah, and communicate with your children, with your family. Always communicate. Say, how do you feel? Do you feel like mama's been? And if I am, they would say, Mama, I'm like, oh, and then I would realize, no, I've been a bit too busy recently, and then I adjust my scale again.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Life is not perfect, yani. I'm not going to say, la, wallah, it's fine, you know, you can balance. No, it's challenging. It's challenging. But as long as communication is key.
I also noticed in one of your videos you were encouraging women in specifically. Like you tell them like you can do it and it is possible. So, which is great, because normally women feel like, no, but you know, I have kids, I need to, you know, look after them, I need to make sure that they have their education right, their homework right, I need to make sure the home is clean, the meals are cooked, you know, everything is done. So you have completed your university degree, you've done your master's, you've done your PhD, you're doing research, you're an associate professor, you've joined an organization, you're giving lectures. Tell me and convince also others that it is possible. But like you said, it's not easy, but it is possible.
That's a fantastic question, and I get that a lot as well. I think women are great because they can multitask in such an amazing way, and they have so much resilience. Trying not to be too hard on yourself. I would say try not to be too hard on yourself and be a little bit selfish. Being a little bit selfish is healthy, because you need to be strong and you need to be happy in order to serve
others. I agree.
Yeah, if you're not happy and you're not strong, you can't be strong for your children or your family or your husband or the society. So you need to be happy with yourself. You need to have your me time, but also you can definitely manage things as long as you communicate. Communication is very, very important, and also involvement. So try to involve your family, try to involve your children. Trust me, once the children know your goals and you communicated with them, they will be part of your drive. They will actually encourage you, and they will be proud of you. And what beats us up, women? The fear of guilt. I'm guilty. We have that, right? So that feeling of guilt will disappear once you feel like your family is proud of you, and they're actually part of your success. Yeah, it keeps you going. And that's what kept me going, when I felt like, no, this is actually making people around me happy. This is making my family proud of me, right? And that will only come if you involve them in all the steps. So women are, especially the Arab women, are strong, they're resilient. We are blessed with amazing supportive families. يعني our culture is supportive. Our families in general are very supportive. Invest in your strengths, be kind to yourself, be selfish, just a little bit enough for you to be healthy and strong, and you can definitely do it, because it's our nature. It's women's nature to multitask. Allah made it a nature in us because we're mothers, and mothers have to multitask. So invest in that strength.
Yeah, I also believe that lead by example. If you study, your kids will be motivated to study. If you work hard and you communicate with them of why you're working, showing them the result of your work, they're going to, I want to be like mama, for example. Like they will take that step into heading into your direction. Maybe not exactly the same direction as you, but they will have your motivation. They will feel you know, I believe that success is contagious. If you come from a family that is motivating and they encourage you and they try to, as much as they can, to push you towards your goal, then everyone feels the same way, and you know, all the kids feel vibrant by that.
If I can say something just to clarify, just so that people don't misunderstand me, I don't want women specifically to link success to career-oriented goals. If your goal and your goal in life is to, for example, bring up your kids and stay at home and not work, and مثلا have goals of focusing on home learning or حفظ Quran or bringing up the society, and that is your goal, and you achieve it, then you are very successful. People mistakenly link successful women with career success, and a lot of people think that that is my only it is fantastic. If you are successful in your career, you are a successful woman. But that's because that's your goal. But if your goal is not to have a job, for example, and to be a full-fledged, mom who takes care fully of her, let's say 8 kids or 10 kids, because I don't want those amazing, strong women to feel any less than women who achieve and get to all these international awards, because it all depends. Success means achieving your goal. As long as you have big aspirations in life and you have huge goals and you achieve them, you're a successful woman.
Of course, and the power of influencing your children is a success for you to be a mother and raising a generation of youth. You're lecturing other kids and she's lecturing her own kids. It's the same thing, it's just different type of success. I totally agree with you. Doctora, thank you so much for your time today. This was amazing. And as a mom, I feel very connected. And even I feel motivated right now.
Thank you so much.
So I hope everyone feels as happy as I am about this interview. And I hope everyone gets to attend your next speech, inshallah. Whenever it's going to be posted, we're going to repost on our page.
Thank you. Thank you. It was fantastic.
Yes, and thank you so much for, it was great meeting you. It's a pleasure. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me and for the time, and thanks for the amazing team for all the efforts that you're doing, and I'm looking forward, inshallah, to meeting you again, inshallah, in the future. Thank you so much. Thank you.